They're one of many for you. Yeah.
Like this. Right. So it like rolled over and then.
I will
Have
figure
something for
that
you.
out.
Could you drop this down your coat and come out the bottom? Yep. Thank you. And you can just clip that to your pocket.
You know I'm gonna be like this holding the microphone, right?
You don't have to hold it. You don't have to hold it. That's the best part.
Here, oh wait, here.
Yeah, on your somewhere where it's kind of hidden. Yeah, you can put it like
I put it on the side.
That's great too. Yeah. Either way.
Why don't we? Yeah.
Perfect.
We put it behind the table.
And then I'm just gonna clip this to you right here.
Oh, so I don't have to hold
You
the
don't have to
mic.
hold it.
This is the mic.
Yep.
Oh.
And you can just put this in your put that in your coat.
So we're not going like this.
No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to.
I'm kidding.
Not like last time.
Yeah. All
you
right.
go.
Oh, that's good because I was thinking because my hand would have
And
been
then
like
here,
shaking.
hide this excess in your jacket so you don't accidentally yank it out. There you go.
Okay,
Perfect.
thanks, Tom.
Yep, of course.
I just want to touch your chin.
I feel so important.
You are.
I feel like
I know.
microphone and
Do we
stuff.
have one for your ears so you can hear what the producers are saying?
And the glasses. Stable. Javi, you met my husband Tissy already introduced, yeah. So did he tell you he forgot to pick one of the kids up?
I didn't. I forgot to pick them up from the right place. And
Yeah. Oh, look, there's Max. My husband, Malta.
I'm the husband.
Finally.
How you doing? I'm doing well. Nice.
Yeah. Did you run here?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I got home late too. I'm like, oh crap.
It's not like, no. Lucky.
Is it going to be live, Kati? Like live on the internet?
Yeah, live. Well,
Okay.
so they can cut out like if I swear and stuff.
Make sure no F-bombs.
No F-bombs.
Keep it.
Like shit comes easy, but F-bombs, no.
Is this clear? Hear this? Is this speaking? Hello.
That's Beanie and Jet. Have you met Beanie and Jet? They're my gaze dogs.
He's like my idol.
All carpet sweepers.
Yeah. They're really cute. Oh wait, Ted, have you met my husband? Did you meet last
Met
time?
briefly last time. Hi, Ted.
Yeah.
I'm Malta.
Ted's the owner of SFRC.
Thanks for
boss.
hosting her again.
She's our star.
Yeah. Milk it.
I better not say anything stupid today.
Well,
Well,
They asked
let's
good
hope.
questions, so.
on Saturday.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I was like, oh, maybe I can like prepare somehow. And I'm like, no, there's no way to prepare. They're just gonna ask you about the stuff that you're supposed to know about yourself, anyways, right? So, yeah, you were really good at talking, so I'm gonna channel you.
Grab something out of this.
Yeah, I will. Thanks. Yeah.
Some good stuff.
Nike is pay for all this.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Grab some goods. Hello.
How's it going?
Good. I'm a little nervous. I mean,
you'll be fine.
it's hard to
No
be talking for
Yeah.
me. But it's
Oh, you're
okay.
getting used to it though.
I don't know.
So many interviews.
Just
Comes natural now.
I know, right?
yeah. Even my eye is twitching. You see it?
Are you doing that on purpose or?
Or it's because...
No, it's actually here.
Because I smell like bacon.
No,
I
it's
just
like
cooked bacon.
here, but I don't
That's
think
why.
you can see it. Oh, it's not. Yeah, it's the bacon twitch. Hi. Like your earrings. So cute.
What time does it start? You know?
It was supposed to start at 6, but I think we start 6:10, and then it's half an hour-ish, I think.
Well, how much?
Half an hour-ish. I don't think it'll go longer. It's like not, you know. I should maybe say hi to the people who are interviewing me.
Yeah, go.
So that
More outside of Boston than actually in Boston, but
I say hi before.
before we grill you.
Hi, sorry, I didn't want to.
So
Yeah.
the best way to pronounce your name, Kati?
Yeah, Kati. Oh,
Okay.
wow, it's perfect. Yeah. Your eyes are so blue.
They're color contacts.
They are. I was like, what the? Like, that's like, whoa.
Thank you. I've been wearing the same contacts since I've been 13 years old. So now it's more about like, I don't want to change.
Consistent. Yeah. No, but I like. I
like a body dysmorphia almost. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I have blue eyes if I don't wear them. But
Yeah.
even other than that, I'm like, if I go to a different brand, it's gonna like,
Yeah. No, it looks really cool. Good. Yeah. I tried, but for brown eyes, you can't. Like, nothing changes. You put them on, and you're like, still brown. Sorry. It's like,
my eyes are naturally.
it's so nice.
We're excited to talk to you, and you're training
my
yourself,
God.
right?
Sorry?
You've got races coming up.
I've got races
stalking
coming
your,
up,
like, your ultra.
and I like literally fell and like hurt my ankle,
That
and
on
then like
Instagram because I was like stalking all your stuff. So is it pretty bad, or is it like?
it's
I mean,
like they
you've got
said
the brace on,
6.
okay.
It's just a wrap. They said 6 weeks of not running.
6 weeks of no.
So But I have a feeling that I can maybe run a little bit before.
Like every runner is like,
Maybe. But I like kind of promised myself I'm definitely not running before like the swelling is all down and like I've done all the right rehab and so I try every day do a little bit. So I don't know, but I think like I was gonna do canyons.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
You know, it's just a race. I mean, it's not like.
Well, now races are more common. Like you know, they're happening. So
Exactly. You pick something else. Do you have anything coming up?
I don't have anything coming up. I'm still kind of like figuring out what I want to be doing. Like I'm just kind of running to run again. I feel like actually, maybe I'm the opposite of you. I feel like during the pandemic you like thrived.
Okay.
And like I was kind of like I don't know like what's happening. And but it was kind of an opportunity for me to like reset. And for me it was like actually like kind of getting off Strava and like figuring out how to like just love the run rather than like all the metrics.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of fun to like figure that out. And then like layering on the strength. I never did strength before and now I'm like figuring that out and I'm like,
That's so good.
okay.
I think, like this happening like definitely like reminded me. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't have happened even with all the strength and mobility, but it is like important to do. So like you heal faster. Like I mean, you can't help but like fall sometimes and stuff. But I do think it helps like the way you heal, or maybe even like they're gonna eat your shoes.
Beanie and the Jet.
Oh, they're so cute. I put makeup on. Did you see? Thank you.
They're dogs. They're like the best dogs.
I'm like gonna say hi. Hello.
And they're hikers too. They will do like.
What's up, pal? How are you? Sorry.
If you ever run into, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying hi, and then we're like posing.
Yeah, you were like posing, and I was like, oh, this is cute. Nice, yes.
Sorry, but what were you saying?
You're good. I was just gonna say to Hal, if you ever find someone new who you think would be great for a shorter one, we can do those much quicker now that we know what to do.
Right.
We can do them quicker, we can do them cheaper, and it's gonna be something fresh.
Yeah.
So if you have any people who you know, like this guy would be perfect, this gal would be perfect, let me know.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
And even if we just do like a short, like.
Just a short one.
Yeah.
Just a short one.
Yeah.
Because then those are great for Instagram. You know, if you want to have like new people, new faces coming in, and then also if you have the content, we can always make a longer one after we get a bunch of them. You know, but you know at first we did some short ones.
Should we start?
Yeah.
So I can get over being nervous.
We're gonna start. We're gonna.
I don't look good. I put like a lot of makeup on.
Don't throw up.
I'll be like, I'm glad I'm not holding the microphone.
Start sweating.
Yeah, I have a little one here.
1 minute. We're gonna start.
At least you're not hosting it.
Oh my god, that would be harder. Yeah, like thinking of what to ask and like naturally sort of move.
You're preloaded with the questions, right? They don't just hit you up with it.
They're gonna hit her.
Oh, they
Say
don't.
what?
They didn't
didn't-
preload. They
no.
didn't preload the questions, so you.
No,
haven't
I
had
don't
time
know
to-
any
No,
questions.
they work that way. Surprise.
But it's like, it's what can they ask that I don't know an answer to, right?
Remember this.
It's not like,
A lot of
they're not gonna
podcasts, they
ask
give no
like,
answer.
who's
A
the
lot of-
president of
You know
Guatemala?
everything.
Or, like,
It's the rapid fire question at the end. You just have to first thing that comes to mind.
I hope they like don't ask something that I'm like, oh shit, I didn't mean to say that.
Really
you know?
politically incorrect stuff.
Yeah. Probably, right? I'll be like, okay. You're like, no, give me this Nike stuff back. Sorry.
If you get stuck, I'll just like word out something. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
You're Nike.
Exactly, help me out.
Maybe I would like recognize the.
I'm ready.
What's your last name?
Laan, L-A-A-N.
Laan. Okay.
Laan, yeah. Yeah, it's, yeah. All those foreign pronunciations, they're hard. Laan.
To make sure I don't get it wrong.
Yeah. And how do you say your name right?
Mimi.
Mimi. Yeah. Okay. I was like, maybe I don't want to say it right. This spread looks really nice too.
It's very good. I'm like, this is my dinner.
Yeah, I'm too nervous. I can't eat anything. Yeah.
Good, how are you? Good to see you.
Oh, look at Ted is waving.
I'm gonna see us.
Oh.
40 boxes. And I said, oh no, we did not. I said, I know for it.
Amy, that's my husband, by the way.
Okay, 1, 2,
You haven't
here.
met?
I haven't met him. I want to meet him. I'm gonna let people sit and then I'm gonna be
Testing. 1, 2. Okay.
Come and have a seat, everybody. Let's be friends. Let's get comfortable. Get some snacks. You don't need anything.
I originally couldn't come, but now I can.
No, I'm so happy. I'm so nervous. Yeah.
Now I'm in the shot. All right. Round 2 of our exchanging experiences. Can everybody get a? There's plenty of seats up front. It's not like lecture. You guys can sit in front. I'm not gonna pick on
Do
you.
it, McKay. Thanks, Carol.
And you won't be in the camera. Don't worry. All right, so everybody, this is our second event for Women's Month, and we can't pan the camera, but our wonderful GM here, McKay, is here with her 2 dogs, and welcome to our store, our second event here, and we have some Trail Sister representation here too. I think I saw Sarah, right? Is that Poison Oak we're talking about? Yeah, okay. She's
COVID protection.
okay. All right, so we're having another live podcast with Runners Above the Bay, interviewing athletes from our community. This will be a monthly event here at the San Anselmo store on the 4th Wednesday of the month. And everybody's invited to come each time to be a part of the live audience. Our website and Instagram and all other social media outlets that we have will be advertising this going forward. So be on the lookout, subscribe, be a part of our follow on Instagram, or just check out our webpage. And we'd like to especially thank Nike Trail and Aaron, who is where's Aaron? Right here, for providing some of the refreshments and the seating, and also Avid Sports Medicine for our new partnership with them, and they're in the back there. And
Let them
okay,
talk about not Aaron. Talk about you and not Veronica will talk then.
all right.
Veronica.
We're gonna skip
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So, Mimi and Bridget from Runners of the Bay are going to do the podcast, and they interviewed me last time. I just wanted to answer one question, which a day later came to me. Who would I run with?
Oh, good. We were gonna make sure we asked you again. So.
Exactly. So my answer is John Muir.
Oh.
I think he's one of the original ultra athletes. If you look at what he did back in the Sierra in the 1800s, the peaks he climbed, all the leather boots and a wool coat, like he was pretty badass. So. All right,
Veronica.
Veronica.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having us. Oh, stand right here. Sorry about that. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Veronica Zhao, and this is Liz. I'm a sports medicine physician. We are part of a practice in the Bay Area in San Francisco that I founded, Avid Sports Medicine. And we're a one-stop shop, and we love runners, probably our favorite population. I started the practice because I feel like medicine's very disjointed. You go one place, then get shuffled to the next and the next. Our practice contains everything you need to recover, perform better, and take care of all of your running needs. So in addition to sports medicine, we have athletic training, and we have chiropractic, we have massage, we do injury prevention, performance training, and fitness as well. So, and we're in the back today. If you want to come at the end and talk to us, we're also raffling off a gait analysis, which is one of the things we offer. And we can tell you about all the ways to work with us. But today we're going to talk about injuries and how to prevent them. So I'm going to tell you the top 5 things that runners maybe don't do so right. All right.
Only 5. We had to cut it down or else we'd be here all night.
No, you guys are one of our favorite types of patients because you're motivated, you're willing to take directions and not really letting things slow you down, which is sometimes a problem. So, number 1 thing, poor shoe awareness. That's the number 1 problem we see, and you're in a place where you can probably fix that pretty easily. The second thing is too much too soon. Sometimes that is when coming back from an injury. Sometimes that's
See a lot of guilty faces out in the crowd.
the nods, I love it. Sometimes that's just you're training for something and you need a little bit of direction about how to get there without getting derailed. So that's where we can come in. Sometimes people think that they only can come see us when they're like limping and hurting and in dire straits, but it's actually good to come at the beginning of your journey, especially if you're new to, maybe not, no one here is new to running, but maybe you're new to a different event, or you want to go faster, or you want to, do more hills, whatever it is. The third thing is no days off. So I'm sure nobody here does this, but there are people out here that run every single day. And we believe that while running is great, it needs to be part of a balanced program to avoid injuring yourself. So when we have someone who has an injury, one of the things we always do while returning them is not just discharge them when they're feeling better. We help them come up with a training plan that leads them back to the way they want to be running. And number 4.
Cross-training.
No cross-training. So this kind of goes along with the first one, which is all running all the time with nothing else. Usually, some people can get away with it, and everybody knows that one person, right, that runs every day for like 10, 15 miles and they're never had an injury. But the average person will run into some difficulty if they're not balancing strength and mobility as part of their program. So that's also where we come in, and Liz will talk more about that. And the number 5 thing, the last thing, forgetting to warm up and cool down. Now, I personally can say I have done this one a lot. I used to just run out of my door, like, no thoughts in the world, which worked pretty well when I was 20. But as time goes on, we realized that prepping our joints is really important for allowing them to take on the load that you're going to deliver. So it doesn't have to be long, as we'll talk about. It can be short, but it needs to be focused, and it needs to focus on the right thing. So just doing some static stretches, probably not going to be the thing you want to do to prep your body for running, although that's the most popular thing to do. So now I'm going to turn over to Liz, who's going to give us the practical things to do.
Yes. Hello, my name is Liz. I have been an athletic trainer for 7 years, graduated from Boston University, and I've worked with D1 runner athletes, I've worked with Olympic trialists, I've worked with your weekenders, I've worked with everybody, the high school athletes, and I've seen a lot of runners. And there's a surprising similarity across the board of weaknesses and training deficits as well as injuries, very similar across the board no matter what level you're training at. So I've come up with 3 things, and I brought my paper in case I forget, but the first one, like we said, a dynamic warm-up should only take you about 5 minutes. So quick jog or jumping jacks for at least 30 seconds, and then I'm sure not to brag, I used to play soccer. Have you ever seen a soccer warm-up? Not gonna lie, we have the best one. So, you have your dynamic leg swings and dynamic first, static after, right, Bridget? So dynamic first, because we don't want to stretch out the muscles. You actually weaken yourself and predispose yourself to injury if you statically stretch before you exercise. So we only do dynamic leg swings, your hamstring scoops, hip openers, and closers. Everyone, when running, you go one direction, and no one ever works their joints in any other direction. So it's super important to open up and use all that workspace that you have, which takes me to my second point. Hip cars. Bridget was just complaining about these
What does CARS stand for?
So CARS are controlled articular rotations, which is a mouthful, so we just say CARS. And the biggest thing when you're running is, what do you use all the time? Your hip flexors, right? And not a lot of people, I won't say no one, a lot of people can't control their core when they're running. And guess where your hip flexors come from? Your spine, your lower back, if you've ever had back pain when you're running and you have really tight hip flexors and you can't control it, or they're not very strong. So hip CARS, you have to really lock down your abs. And so you come up and you're using your joint in every direction and really keeping solid here versus letting go. So then you come up and you're back around.
I can demo.
Yeah, we can demo. This is really hard to do and hold this at the
We
same
can
time.
all do it.
Yeah. So if you're curious, and the key is to go in slow motion. So you're coming into flexion, abduction, internal rotation, sweeping back into extension, and then back forward into flexion, and then you reverse into external rotation, swinging back around into adduction. So that's a lot of fancy words for circle your hip in a lot of different directions. But the key is to be able to control that. And there's a CAR for every joint, so ankle CARs are also super important. And, as many of our runners that we've seen will tell you, when they get hip pain, knee pain, it usually comes from an inability to stabilize the pelvis and the core. So I give all of my people hip CARs, and you can do them in all sorts of directions, laying, on all fours and things like that. And the last one is, a lot of runners do calf raises wrong. A lot of them, so wrong. And the biggest thing is you have 5 toes, and everyone wants to go whoop, and their ankles just flare out to the side. And it's very sad because they're not accessing their whole calf. You've got your calf, and then underneath it, your soleus. So when you do a calf raise, you need to go straight up, rolling up on the first 2 or 3 toes. None of this, okay? And then controlling the way back down. I always see this. They go up and down. They're like, look, I'm doing it. You're not doing it. So if you go up straight and come down straight with control, I think a lot of you will be surprised at how much more difficult it is, but how much better of a muscle squeeze you feel. And you'll not only strengthen your calf better, you'll strengthen your Achilles better. You won't get my Achilles tendonitis, people. And then you'll also strengthen your arch better, my plantar fasciitis people. So, you can do calf raises poorly until the cows come home, but you're still going to get Achilles tendinopathy at the end of the day. So yeah, those are my 3 biggest things that I see in the clinic. Please do your dynamic stretching before you work out.
Thanks, Liz. Well, if any of you, we're not far. We're in San Francisco, but we're right off the bridge. And we have decent parking right around our office. But I'll say the way that we work with people, we have a number of ways to work with us. Number 1 is one-on-one. We do all of our visits as a team-based approach, so you're seeing 2 of us at the same time, and we're really working with you. The other is we just launched a new group-based program, which is really exciting because runners like to be in communities and learn from each other, and we think rehab should be the same way. And I do regenerative medicine. So we think rehab, it should always be your base, but sometimes you need a little bit more. So I do platelet-rich plasma, I do shockwave therapy, and we're the only ones in the area doing that. So we'd love to work with any of you. Thanks again for having us. And
thank you. If you have any questions, we'll be in the back. And yeah, do the little raffle for your gait analysis so I can tell you what's wrong with you.
Let's go for what we came today. Podcast, runners of the bay, please. And our Kati.
Kati too.
Kati, I saw you paying attention with the ankle.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
were like, wait, what?
yeah.
I was doing my hip bars.
I know, I was
Always
like,
an opportunity, right?
straight up.
Yeah, Abbott's amazing. I've been going to them for months now, and they've really helped me. But we are so excited to be here.
Yes. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to, I want to say our first live episode, but that would be very disingenuous. This is our second live episode because we had to do a dress rehearsal because we had to make sure that we were like good to go. So now we're pros. But we're so excited to be here, and as we mentioned last time, just being live with people and working particularly with SFRC has kind of been like a quiet dream of ours that we didn't even say out loud, but somehow was made happen thanks to Tony back there, aka Tony with a Sony. Yes, big props to Tony for all you do for this community. So we're thrilled to be here today. And as as Ted mentioned, I think we're hoping this will be a monthly thing. So it's going to be awesome. But we are very excited to talk to Kati Laan, the anointed Queen of Tam, and I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't bring a crown for you, or you didn't. Yeah. Oh, actually, there's one in the back. But so Kati, so nice to be here with you today, and we're just gonna get into it. So we read that you actually started running a little bit later in life, in your 30s. What brought you to our lovely sport?
Yeah, so I never ran as a kid. I didn't run growing up. I hated running. Like the couple of times I was made to run, like in PE and stuff, we usually ran behind the school, stopped and waited for everybody else to head back. But yeah, I think it was just the fact of living here, having this amazing nature. I love being outside, and I hiked a lot. And then my friends were running, so they were like, let's sign up for half a marathon. I was like, oh, that sounds so long. And we did, and I did that, and I started loving running. So yeah, I was 36, I think, when I started. So
what was that like to come at it a little bit later in life? Did you notice that others had been doing it a long time? Did you find it inclusive?
I don't think I thought about anybody else a lot. So I was just doing it was so hard to figure out literally when you were talking just now, the shoes, I had the wrong shoes. I had wrong everything. I brought too much gear. I think the first time I ran a race, I had I don't know, stuff for 100 milers, doing, maybe I brought the compass. I don't know. But yeah, it was very inclusive, I think, right off. I thought, oh my God, everybody who's running is so nice. How can this be? This is the best community. And I just, yeah, it rolled on and on from there. And I really sucked in the beginning, so just saying.
It's cool though, because there's nowhere to go but up.
I know.
Literally if you're doing trails, but also figuratively if you're just getting into a new sport. So you said half marathon, that sounds like a really long distance, but then you decide to be an ultra marathoner. So
right. Literally at the same time.
Yeah, you're having these two thoughts at once. Were you hypoxic, delirious? What made you sign up for your first ultra marathon?
I think I had a little too much wine, and I was at ultra sign up, and I'm okay, I'm signing up for this half a marathon, but there's a Miwok 100K, 4 months
Basically
later.
and
I'm it's a lottery. It used to be a lottery entry, and I'm oh, I never get in any lottery, no way. And I put my name in there, and I got in, of course. I was I guess now I have to do it. Why? I don't know. I could have just said no, but I did do that and realized that it was really awesome, the feeling and everything. So I made it under the cutoff times even. It was great, yeah.
How did you approach your training for that first?
really, like, you don't want to do what I did. I literally, like, I did the half a marathon. I was like, I got lost. I was like not last, but second to last to the finish. And I was like, oh, I guess I need to do like some longer runs now, you know, to be ready. It was in January, so to be ready for Miwok in May. And I just sort of like ran as much as I could, I guess. Like, I had no plan. I was like, okay, I signed up for Marin Ultra Challenge 50K, and I thought, like, in my head, like, the time that I can run that in plus like 2 hours would be like sort of, so like 50K plus 2 hours, and then another, you know, like I was like calculating like how fast could I do the 100K, like, so it's like basically if I hike really, really fast and like run some, I can make it, you know, which is literally what I did. And I did make it, but I was way undertrained. Everything hurt. It was not the right way. I got a coach after that. So that's what I should have done right away. Or maybe not like sign up for 100K right away.
Is like the community at these stages, like when does kind of the community step in? I mean, mentioning you have a coach that's kind of connecting you to something, but are you finding places like SFRC? Are your friends also signing up for these crazy long races?
Right. I mean, now that was a long time ago, and definitely, like, actually that's when I discovered SFRC as well. I was like, oh, San Francisco Running Company, they can probably help me. But for that first big race, I just went like a month before the race, so they were like, it's a little too late to start training, so we can't provide you with any advice, but maybe just show up and try. But after that, I did like the Saturday runs and just found friends through there and started running with people more. Yeah, that was very helpful for sure.
So when do things start to feel like they're clicking? Like you were mentioning that, like, okay, you felt like you didn't train well for this race or that race, but now you get a coach and now you're kind of connecting to the community. Like, does that start to feel different?
I think finally, like, I am a very, very slow learner. So, and I start like things the wrong way, like, you know, like sign up first and train later. So I think it took me like literally, like I made all the mistakes that you can make, like with nutrition and, you know, throughout just doing the races, I think maybe for like 5 years, I finally have gotten it down, I think, to like how I need to do things. But even knowing that, I know like if it's a 100-miler, things can still go wrong. So I'm never like, oh, I got this down. But it took like a lot of years, 5, I would say. But I think it would go faster if you hire a coach and have friends help you right away. So
I think learning those things like over time is a good strategy too.
Yeah.
So before you found running, like you had a life, you had things that you were doing, a family. How does sort of your identity start to shift as you find running? I think, you know, all of us can relate to, we have something else that we do, but running is that's why we're all here, right? Like it's a huge part of our lives. How does that start to permeate into everything else?
Yes, I think just the part where, I mean, yes, so running is a huge part of like a lot of our lives, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's not I just think like running for me makes me better at everything else. Like makes me a better mom and makes me a better friend and gives me that time to, like I really like running alone and it gives me that alone time. So like everything is better because I started running, literally everything. I think, thank you running. Yeah.
Was there anything like specific that you learned during training, or you mentioned like the last 5 years that you've applied to being a mother or in relationships that came from running, or the way you approach things?
I think it has made me, especially doing like long races and training for long races, have made me more patient, and I've never been very patient. So that's a big thing. So I think that's the main thing that I've learned from running, and just to have I don't know, I'm like injured right now, and to have the patience to wait it out and take it slower and, not react right away. Take your time. Yeah.
It's a good lesson.
It's a good lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely be a little more patient. So during the pandemic, you got the FKT for summiting TAM 16 times, hence your clean title. What inspired you to do that? What was that like?
So it was actually my friend. She's here too, Jessie. We did a lot of summits that year, and it was the COVID year. And TAM it's like literally next to my house. You go out the door, 5 minutes, you're at the hill climb, So it was an easy choice what to do, and I think like the 16 summits was awesome, but like I did over 200 summits that year, which is a lot of summits. So the 16 summits was just to get to that 200 and try and do something bigger. And I tried within that to get my like Everesting under 24 hours, which I was able to do, and then to just push a little more. So I would have like 100 miler, which I don't know why. Like I could have just not done that, but it was a really nice experience, and it was one of those, like, that wasn't a race, but it sort of felt like it, and all my friends showed up and helped me and ran with me, and a lot of them are here right now. And it's just one of those really, really nice memories.
Yeah, I think we all found our own motivation or things sort of during lockdown. How did you, at what point did you come up with this goal? Did it evolve?
I think we were like going back and forth just when we were doing TAMs. I was like, oh, how cool it would be like to do Everesting, and that seemed insane. And I'm like, well, actually, okay, we can do that. And then sort of snowballed from there. And I actually really didn't think that I'm gonna be able to do that. Until the last summit, I was like, maybe I can't do this last summit. Like it's just the trails, and like maybe I'll fall or get really tired, or I don't know, anything can happen. So yeah, it was just to test it, whether I can do 100 miler instead of not doing 100 miler, I guess. There was no specific anything else.
Was it like a daily thing? What did your routine look like during the pandemic? I'm so curious. I think we all settled into a new normal during that time.
Yeah, I mean, we did a bunch of summits the beginning of the year, and so it was almost like the second half of the year during deepest, darkest COVID times, we would do a lot of TAM summits, not every day, but usually like morning, head out. When they opened, oh my God, that was the best thing when Equator Coffees got like mobile ordering. So we'd like run downhill, and halfway down we were like, okay. And so we got down there, we had coffee waiting. It's like, okay, I run for coffee, that's okay. So it was like that kind of a routine, and best friendships, I gotta say.
Yeah. So as you think about what's next, you're injured right now, but patience. So, what are some future goals in terms of ultra running, or what's next?
So was signed up, or I still am actually. I guess I need to unsign up for canyons, because now I don't think I can be ready for that unless a miracle happens, because that is in 6 weeks. I have Cascade Crest in July, and I think I'm super excited about that. I'll try and do, as long as I can keep on running, I think I'll try and do like a 100 miler that I haven't done before, and has climbing in it. So I'm very excited about that. So I'm really, really looking forward to doing that and being ready.
I love how you're half marathon seemed really long, but you're just so casually talking about 100 miler. I can't wrap my brain around that.
I don't know. I think it's 100 miler is in a way they're equally really hard, because I feel like when you do the half a marathon, you do it really fast, right? You try to do it fast. 100 miler, you can chill a bit. You can hike, you can run, I push like I would push for a half a marathon. So I think there's something in that. I think a lot more people can do 100-milers than we think.
There's definitely more snacks. I mean, I've never done one, but
There's a lot more
I just think about all the
Yeah.
snacks.
Where does, like, before you started running, did you have other aspects of your life where you're doing, like, thinking about things the way that you're thinking about them, where you're pushing yourself, where are your limits, or this, like, drive to endurance?
So like besides running?
Like before you, like, did this, did you kind of like find this part of yourself through running, or were there other, before you started running, did you know I'm a more like competitive person, I'm a person who likes to do things for long periods of time?
I didn't think that at
again?
all, actually, because I like give up really easy. So I don't know. I was like, well, not really, but I mean, I've tried like a lot of different things, and it usually is like lasts just a little, and then I can maybe do it well or not that well. But I like wouldn't say I give up, but I don't think there's been anything like running. I just really like running and outdoors. Actually, I think I like being outdoors more even.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you, in a short period of time, have come a long way. You have some wins. You have won races. What is that experience like? Do you go into races now thinking, I want to win?
Well, I can think that, right? But it doesn't, I don't ever actually, I mean, it's kind of always a really happy, good surprise when that happens. And I never think that when I'm going into a race. But I know that I would, like now that if I can put my training in and, you know, do everything the best I can, I at least like have a chance to, you know, do the best I can. And then whatever happens is like, I'm always happy with it. But I don't think I can win, you know, I don't know.
Do you find at a certain point in a race that you start to feel competitive?
Definitely, yeah. Like once I'm in a race and I know where I am, then I'm like, okay, I will do my best every step of the way so that I don't look back and say, oh, I didn't do everything I can to do, you know, to not to even like win, but to do the, you know, place the best I can. Then for sure, like I've never been not pushing then once I'm like running already, I think.
Yeah, it just kind of like turns on, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's almost like you can't control it. And not that you don't have to give away your secrets here, but you know, I'm curious, like what kind of competitor are you? Are you someone that likes to kind of stay with the pack and then towards the end like make your move? Or are you like, I want to get as far, much as the lead as I can? What's your style?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I definitely like to be, if it's a 100-mile race, you're almost never in a pack anyways, I feel like. And I do like to feel like a little comfortable where I am. So I guess I would be in the category where I like try and put a little bit of distance between, but doesn't always work even if you try hard, right?
Well, it's a balance. Like, you know, you don't want to, well, I wouldn't know what it's like to run 100 miles, but I would imagine you want to make sure you're not kind of overdoing it or blowing up so that you pay later in the race. So it's like, seems like a very, you have to do a lot of calculating.
Right, in a way. Except that you can't calculate.
Right.
I'm like, I can't. I'm like, wait, oh, it's like how many miles, how fast? Like,
you have to consider all the factors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're here, it's Women's History Month, we're celebrating women. We think women are awesome, we know women are awesome. Like, when you think about how the trail community or the running community in general welcomes women into the sport, like, what does that mean to you? What are the things that are great, and what are some areas where we could do better?
I mean, I never expected anything. So I haven't really thought about it, but I mean, just looking at how media or social media is portraying runners, then I think there's just so many badass female runners, and I think definitely still like men get more of the spotlight. So I would like to see more women, female runners being portrayed and like know what they're thinking or how they got there. I don't know, but
seems like particularly in trails and ultras where the longer you go, kind of the more it equalizes, right? Like
oh yeah, true. Yeah, look at Courtney Dollwater.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know how she does it.
What advice would you give to women who want to get into trail running that maybe are intimidated, or they have to get up really early in the morning and it's still dark and that feels not safe?
Oh, right. Yeah. I feel like that's really hard for me to say anything about, because I feel like I'm very lucky where I live. Like I never feel unsafe. Like unless I get maybe attacked by a pack of coyotes. I don't know. Can that happen? Okay. But so.
I hope it doesn't.
But you know, I feel like every time it's really hard to get your butt out the door, you will always feel like so much better after. It's totally worth it. And I also think like if I can do it, like all the stupid mistakes I made and the way I started out, then I'm still like, I love running and I will do races, I think, or just be running hopefully for a long time, whether it goes, however it goes. Like I think it's just something that everybody can do. It's free. Like maybe not the races, but going outside and just the right shoes. You know, you don't need much. You don't need a gym membership, and I think that was appealing to me when I started as well. I don't know. I forgot the question. Did that answer the question? I was like, well, I don't know.
You know, going back to this theme of like support and community, who are some women in the community who you admire?
Oh my God, there are like a lot of them here. Well, Millie got me into running. She's there. She's like, she got me into running. Well, yeah, but you made me sign up for that half a marathon. Thank you. And then obviously, you know, she's like, no. Like McKay I work with. Helgi, well, not even talking about Jessie. Like, thanks to her, we pushed through COVID together. Thank you. And yeah, Emmy is here too, maybe, I think. Yeah. Lotte runs. But yeah, I think I have a lot of good friends now that just everybody loves to run. We love our lattes after 10 summits, and I kind of forgot where I'm going with this too. But yeah.
I think we see like women really supporting women in this community. I mean, you see it on the roads and sort of this generation of distance runners, of everybody wanting to see each other succeed. Like Bridget and I are primarily, well, I'm primarily a road runner, so the trails are hard. I can't do downhills. I'm very slow. But like you see with road running in particular, you know, with the 2020 Olympic trials, just women encouraging each other to go out and run, you know, a fast marathon to be able to qualify, and it kind of builds on itself. And so I would assume we see that in the trail world as well. It's like you see what some women do, and you're like, hey, maybe that's possible for me.
Oh, right, absolutely. And like any help I need, it's always, you know, Carolyn like would help me with like strength and, you know, okay, it hurts, what do we do? You know, and get me back out there, or yeah, just to run together and exchange stories and advice that is just out there. Saturday runs, SFRC, just saying.
Trail Sisters.
Trail Sisters, yes, absolutely, yeah. Trail Sisters too.
Before we wrap up with some fun questions, we want to open it up to the audience. So does anyone have questions for Kati?
Are you a music listener when you run, or like audiobooks, podcasts, or nothing?
So we're going to repeat the question just so that we can hear it. So are you a music listener when you run? Do you listen to audiobooks, podcasts, or just the sound of your own breathing? You didn't say that.
We just add that there. I like to do workouts with music, and then shorter runs or medium runs with like podcasts and books. And then long runs I do without, like everything starts bothering me. If it's like longer than 2 hours, I'm like, I can't listen to anything. I feel like it's just the nature, then that's how I am.
I was just going to ask, what do you consider a medium run versus a long run?
I feel like anything under 2 hours is then a medium. Yeah.
We have different
Road versus
definitions.
road versus trail here.
You probably run like super fast. I don't know.
Any other questions? Yeah, okay.
What's a double bastard?
Ah.
And how did you do with the double bastard?
That's a good
What
question.
is a double bastard? I'm curious too.
So double bastard, who came up with double bastard? Was it Chris Jones? Oh yeah. So basically you have Quad Dipsy, which is end of November, like always the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
What's the quad dipsy?
And Quad Dipsy is you run Dipsy 4 times. So you start in Mill Valley, run to Stinson, back, and repeat that 1 more time. So it's about, what, like 28.6, thank you, miles and over 9,000 feet of climbing. And then a week later, the next Saturday is usually CIM marathon. So then you have to run that as well. So you do both races. Like, and they're
lowest combined time.
yes, champions there.
Wow. Okay, our next guest for the champion of the
Yeah. So exactly. So it's like whatever. Yeah, both times combined, the lowest time is the winner. So it's.
Have you
And it
done
was
that?
Kati's
Yeah,
first road marathon.
It was my first. So yeah.
She had I gave her my bib because I got it.
Right.
So she did it like last minute.
That's very true. I wasn't going to do that, but then you gave me your bib, so then I had to do it.
And you be cute.
First marathon.
Well, yeah, but I'm like, it's easier because I'm older. Like
It's
the
easier
times.
because I'm older.
You know, like the times are lower.
Nothing is easier because you're older.
You're tapered on Quad Dipsy.
Yeah.
That was my next question. How were your legs? And what did you do to recover? Like, are we talking?
Like between
Yeah.
or well after everything?
Between. Yeah, both.
I don't remember. I think just what you. Yeah. Yeah, just normal. She knows. But yeah, nothing specific. I don't think. No.
What was harder, the Quad Dipsy or CIM?
Very good question. I didn't expect the marathon to be so hard. But it was also like mentally, I was way more chill because I didn't have any goal. I just wanted to like run it and finish. But man, running road is hard when you're used to running. Like the muscles you use the same, and then you like hurt, like your hips are falling like apart. Like it was hard, but I still think in a way Quad Dipsy was still a little harder. In truth.
Have you done another road marathon since?
No, I haven't.
Only if you do another double bastard.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. Or Boston next year, if I can get in. Yeah, that would be really cool to do, I think. Yeah.
You should do it.
You should
Yeah.
do it. You should do it.
Yeah.
You should do it.
Yeah.
I think if you BQ, you should do it at least
do
once.
it.
Just
Somebody
to, like,
help me with training plan.
Yeah. We'll
Max.
we'll hook you up. We'll make sure that happens.
Yeah.
Any other
I have a
questions?
question.
Yeah, Jessie.
What was your favorite race?
What was your favorite race?
Like whether it was just your favorite race or like your favorite performance, like just when you think back.
Like overall?
Overall, like of all races that you've done.
I think it probably is Hurt
Yeah.
100. Yeah, that was very special.
She got in off the wait list, was it like 10 days
Two
before?
2 weeks before.
And she came in second. And like a
She just wants to talk me up.
Oh my
Hi,
gosh.
women. We love
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just crazy as hell trails. Like that's a really, really awesome race to do.
100? Sorry,
Hurt 100. It's a race in Oahu, above Honolulu. So you do 20 loops with in the like. Wait, 5. Yeah, sorry. You do 5 loops of 20. I'm saying something wrong, but what am I saying wrong? Yes, you do 5 loops of 20 miles with a lot of climbing, and it's like all messed up. You can like sustainably run only like small sections of it because it's like roots and jungle. But at the same time, it's like amazing. You're on Hawaii, you know, like birds are singing and like, you know, it's.
Why is it called Hurt?
Good question, because it's actually called Hurt because of it's a Hawaiian ultra racing team or running team, I think, yeah. So that's why, but it like also goes really well. So it's like they did very good with the name, I think.
Yeah.
Like
It's an appropriate acronym.
yeah, very appropriate. Yeah.
Show us the Estonian dance.
Oh, I can't. Now that my ankle hurts, is like I can't. But I did do. Now it's like my new routine is like in Estonia. Well, I grew up doing folk dance, which is kind of. It's like a thing you do in Estonia. It's weird. But anyways, you like 2 sticks, you put them together, and then you do like you jump and like without messing the sticks up.
Is that your pre-race warm-up?
Yes, I did that.
Dynamic.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, looks weird, and people are like, what the hell is she doing?
It's the
like,
best way to like, I don't know, like just fake out your competitors.
Yeah, they're like, oh, she's crazy. Let's stay away from her. It's like practice.
Any other questions? Yeah.
What is your favorite part of the Mount Tam hill climb?
What is your favorite part of the Mount Tam hill climb besides the way down ordering coffee, which would be my favorite?
That's actually very true. That's probably my favorite like moment mentally. But then beautifulness wise, I love like I think it's the 10th switchback where you sort of like if it's really clear, you have the view like really beautiful. You always take photos there, I feel like. And it's so gorgeous. You like have Mount Diablo if it's clear, when it's clear, and like just yeah, you have a beautiful, beautiful view all around. Right. Must be everybody's favorite.
You recently qualified for Boston.
Yeah.
I just confirming. You going next year to do Boston?
Sure.
It's on the record.
I have to sign up.
Here.
Yeah.
I mean, those hills, like the Newton Hills, that's nothing. That's like flat for you.
No, but it's gonna be.
You're gonna get there and you're gonna be fine. But Boston is fun. Awesome. So any other questions? Last chance, last question.
Are there questions on the YouTube live stream? Someone just texted me and said to read some.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not on it, so I don't know.
Oh, repeating them. I guess they're not being repeated, right? You guys repeating?
I don't know.
You probably were reading.
The YouTube.
Apparently my mic was also on like 10 minutes before we started,
Wow.
and I hope I didn't get it before I went to the restroom. I'm just saying.
Ooh.
Okay.
Any questions? The people on YouTube are like screaming at us right now. They're like, why can't you see me?
I love that people were basically asking my rapid fire questions for me.
Oh.
I can't even find our channel.
Is Mount Tam your favorite place for a long run in the Bay Area? I guess not long.
Yeah, you can make it long. I think so. Yes, because you can go in so many different ways, like through, redwoods and do the climbs and. Yeah. Oof, I sound.
We
bad.
are a professional organization.
Yes.
Do you have any like memorable animal encounters from
Ooh, any memorable animal encounters? That's a good one.
I had once like a bobcat chase me but not like chase me, but like just follow for a very long time. And when it got close, I saw the bobcat was like eating or like holding a bunny or like a tiny, is it bunny? They're called bunnies? Rabbit?
Yeah.
Bunny rabbit. And yeah, And yes, so no, not yet. So when I stopped, I was like, okay, bobcat, it was huge. It just looked at me, put the rabbit down and started eating it. I think like it must be something, wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to have a meal with you.
It was like, that was weird. And needed an audience. But nothing dangerous.
Have you ever, no one else has asked this, I'm asking this. Have you ever hallucinated during a race?
I have actually, yeah. I fell asleep once too, and I like walked into a bush and woke up in a bush.
Wait, did you fall asleep while you were running?
Yeah. That was my first 100, and I decided to do it solo. So I didn't have a pacer to like keep me up, and I was so tired. And I was like, okay, I can only make it to the next aid station and get some coffee. And I just like, I was singing all the songs I remembered, like from my childhood, out loud, everything. And then I was suddenly in a bush.
Wow.
And I was like, and I'm like, oh, I was streaming. But it wasn't, it was okay.
What's your most memorable hallucination?
So with hallucinations, it's really weird. I always get like, I know, like my brain knows I'm hallucinating, but I would like look at something and I'm like, oh, it's like a Yeti, or it's like, and I'm like, wait, it's not a Yeti because that's not real. But at least they're smiling and they're always like positive. So I would see a rock and I'm like, that rock has a face. I'm like, oh, but it's a happy face. And then I'm like, and I know I'm hallucinating. So like my brain can say it at the same time. So it's like always like, okay, like I always feel like in nature, I feel safe. You know, so it's never been some crazy hallucination. And it's always between like 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., somewhere where you really like the deepest sleep would be, I think. I don't know, that's the hardest time to run. And then I hallucinate.
I mean, if you're going to hallucinate, they should be happy hallucinating.
They should be happy, so.
I love that your brain
My brain is like positive, at least. Yeah.
We gotten any questions from the live stream that we want to?
There were none.
None?
Okay, cool.
We hit them all. All right, we've got a few more fun ones for you.
Okay, favorite recovery meal. We know you like coffee. What are you eating after?
I also like Equator's avocado waffle. It's so good.
Avocado waffle?
It's a waffle, but it also has avocado on top. And it's like not sweet, but I don't know, it's really good. Can't explain it. It's very good.
Sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it.
I mean, forget avocado toast. It's
Right,
avocado waffle.
I
Yeah.
feel like
It has
that's
brie
the
cheese inside, like baked inside, and then avocado on top.
Very good.
Oh my god, it's the best thing. Yep.
Do you have a bucket list race?
I would like to do UTMB one year, I think, like hopefully, and Western States, of course. So it's just, I've never been like super like, oh, I gotta get in. But now I'm thinking like, maybe like I'm getting older and soon can't run anymore. It would be really nice to do that, you know.
I think I saw you're signed up for the weekend, right?
Yes, the training weekend, yeah.
Have you done that before?
I've done it once before, and I think like even for whatever race, it's a great weekend to do. Like there's so many people, you know, running it, and it's just a fun weekend, yeah.
Okay, final, last, most important question.
Oh.
Burger, burrito, or pizza?
Tony Tuto's pizza.
Which
Yeah,
pizza?
it has to be pizza. I think pizza. Yeah, good pizza.
Where are you going? Where's
Tony Tuto. It's in Ross now.
Okay.
Yeah, just saying, it's very good. Or my husband's pizza. He makes very good pizza.
Love it. Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to
Thank you.
get to know you. And,
Thank you very much. And I'm sorry. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And make sure to kill your mic now. So that you don't run.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being here.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
I feel like
Lots of snacks.
Thank you so much.
We should have worn
I need to.
New Balance, and you're all like Nike Trail.
I'm super Nike Trail.
Yeah,
Wait,
that was
I
smart
don't
of you.
know how this works.
My trail shoes